anytime someone tells a fantasy story, it is stuck in medieval era, the like BC age, like
Yeah.
very no technology, rudimentary. Like we are just grasping the straws of like mankind, basically.
Okay.
It's like why can't I, as the game develops and people fall in love with it, I then like jump jump ahead in time and turn it into like, hey, we are now in the revolutionary age. We are now in modern age. We are now in space exploration age.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Team Reinvented Gaming Podcast. I am here with game developer and United States Marine, Corban Ramos. What's up, Corban?
How's it going, Jones?
Good, good. Glad to have you on here and everything like that. Just had Ryan on the podcast last week or last time, and he's also a game developer. So I'd be interested to hear you guys' thoughts on some of the same topics, but I know what you're working on, so I'll tailor the questions more so to some specific things. But yeah, man. So let's get right into it. Okay, so you currently serving the United States Marine Corps. I was a Marine. We met in the Marine Corps. That's a story in itself. But even bigger, well, I won't say even bigger, but as well, you are also developing a game, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. Tell us how did you get into that? Like, how did that come about? Like, you're serving in the military, and then cause you still have a couple of years left to do, right? So like,
I still have 2.5. I just hit my halfway mark in the contract.
dang. So like, where did this come from so early in like your career, and like, how did that happen?
So me being me, I've always liked to create things. So
Mm-hmm.
like even in high school, I like toil around with making like my own language, but I'd never actually like commit to it because there was no reason to from in
Mm-hmm.
my mind. Uh, but when I first got here, the first exercise I went on at my unit, it was Northern Viper, a whole ass month ordeal during the winter. And during that time, like my best friend back home passed away,
Okay.
and uh, me and him always wanted to just create something together. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna create one, and I'm gonna like make sure like I get to contribute, like give a commemoration to him specifically in the game. I was like, I've always wanted to create a game anyway, so I was like, I just want to make something specifically for him, have something in, just like immortalize him.
Okay. So you
And
created the game. So like, you add him into it, or like,
yeah, I added him into it. He's actually one of the cards that I
holy
put in.
crap.
Like uh like out of so I have a couple of voice lines that I want to like over time incorporate into the game, so all
Mm-hmm.
the characters have like a voice line when you spawn them or they attack or something. And I even like for his card, I put a couple of things that he would say in real life. Just
Oh wow, that's crazy.
yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. So, what is the game? So, like, for people who don't know, like, what is it called? Tell us about it and stuff like that. As
So
simple as possible. I don't. So, yeah, just.
yeah. The game's called Grimoire Safinza. It's a card game similar to what you would be used to like Yu-Gi-Oh or Hearthstone. There's monster cards they can attack, defend,
Mm,
and then your objective is to take out your opponent's life points, basically.
okay.
With that, there's at the start of the like when the game launches, we're gonna have a total of 210 cards. We're hoping to make it where the cards play off of each other. You have to actually think and uh, think out all your attacks and all that to best play your cards to the best of their ability.
Okay. So it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, like Magic the Gathering, like that same kind of concept. But I know you talked to me about this a little bit and everything like that. So, but yours is different because it's very story based, right? Like they have a connection with
Yes.
like the story and stuff like that.
So with that, I wanted something for people to get attracted to, and me personally, I love lore for games, like or any
Mm-hmm.
universe. Take Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. Like the reason everyone fell so in love with them is because they put so much like effort in the stories of the races, of the language itself, and like the political views of the leaders. And that's the main reason why people fall in love with the like even Game of Thrones. People fell in love with it because it was so like intricate on the political story, and so I wanted
Interesting.
to incorporate that. But it's a little hard for a card game, so what I had to do is on the side I did a lot of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the cards will like give you some base information, but just enough to keep like intrigue you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really want to, like I do plan on making like commissioning books and comics and all that later
Okay.
on once I have started having a bigger flow of
Nice.
income, so it can expand that universe.
Yeah. Okay. No, yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I know Magic the Gathering does kind of the same thing. I mean, I don't know, like, I played Magic and stuff like that, but I don't know. Not until your game is fully developed and it's tangible, then we'll see. I'm gonna play it, but we'll see how it is and everything. But yeah, that's dope, man. I think that's great. I think that's great. So I'm interested. So how do you balance out the being a Marine, day to day with
Yeah.
creating this game? Because both take a lot of time. So how's that work life balance, or does it even exist?
So, uh, I'm not gonna lie, I am quite odd for a Marine. I am up at 3 o'clock in the morning and
You
asleep
are.
by 8 o'clock at night. So that's one very strange for a Marine. And so what it allows me to do is back home, everyone's up 3 o'clock my time. So if they're on, I play with them for a bit. And when I get home for the day, what like 4:30, I just work on the game for the next 3 hours and then I go to sleep. So I just it's not a lot of time, but it's enough to just
Yeah.
constantly build on. And then, like weekends, same thing. Everyone's off by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The rest of the day, I just sit there and work on it. Uh, and then like if I'm on duty or something, if I'm just sitting there doing nothing for a long period of time, I sit there and just start writing more lore and try to create the languages a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. I think when you build something, right, and I can attest when been a team of Reinvented Gaming, it's about the consistency of it rather than like trying to like move. It's about moving forward. It's about Gary Vaynerchuk says it's about speed rather than perfection, right? That's the way he puts it. But there's some truth to that. It's about just getting things done, and you polish it after. You set a goal, and I'm gonna accomplish this. Whether that's you, I'm gonna make this card tonight and get it done, and then I figure everything out later. But like just that consistency, that day to day effort you have to put into something really matters, man. And just having it on your mind at all times. So
Yeah.
that's good. That's good because you're constantly thinking. If you're like me, you'll come up with ideas at random times in the middle of the night or while you're eating freaking food and just like, oh, I should do that or something like that. But no, that's legit. That's legit. That's good. You have a balance there to some degree, right? You work in the game. You have this time slotted for the game. You have time slotted for your entertainment. And, obviously work and stuff like that. So nice. What what's your favorite thing about doing this? About building this game, and what's your least favorite thing about it?
Honestly, the like my biggest favorite thing is just making all the story for all the characters and all the cards. So like I already have the first expansion like already thought out. So
Okay.
the goal is like a year and a half after the game launches, release the expansion, and already I'm creating all the lore for that and explaining why this expansion is going. So what I'm doing for each expansion is actually telling the story of the world as
Okay.
each set comes out. So just like a quick peek behind the curtains, then the expansion is going to be about a war that's been going on for 200 years, and it's like the conclusion of this war. So the cards that I'm introducing are of orcs and dwarves, and I'm telling them like why these races have these certain types of perks compared to what you're normally used to, and
Interesting.
why they've developed over this 200 course war, and how they've gotten better and honing their skills to fight the opponent.
Interesting. Oh yeah, yeah. That sounds really cool. I'll be. Yeah, I'm just interested to see how that looks in fruition, like what it
Yeah.
looks like. Um.
And then like my least favorite is by far the making like trying to get the artwork and all that. It's just like it's stressful. It's
Well, you have to
hey,
admit.
I need this quickly and trying to find the right artist to do it too is
So yeah, vetting employees. Like, could you have a team for you, right? It's like what's all. So what's on your team? Like, what kind of team are you rocking with? Who are you in charge of right now, and everything?
so, I have two Marines that are helping me. I have a Marine that's actually scripting the game. His name's Pope,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, like midway through like last year, his computer just ate dust and shut down, erased everything. We had to start from scratch for the game.
Yeah.
So like that was our biggest setback. We were actually like he said he was already close to finishing it. All he had to do was like the final touch ups, and it just erased everything. So that was like his
Yikes.
big problem. And it's been a struggle since.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is Coons. He actually helps me create some of the card ideas. Like when I'm like stuck, I would just sit there and like spitball off of him, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh no, I think we should do it this way." I'm like, "That's actually not bad,"
Mm-hmm.
and we'll just continue on for like 2, 3 more hours, just going back and forth.
Yeah.
And then artists, the artist is just whoever I can find on Fiverr and trying to see
Mm-hmm.
if their artworks, like their art style is similar to what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So, do you pay anybody currently? Do you,
Of course, I'm paying the artist, and then I'm paying
yeah.
Pope because
Okay.
he's
Putting
just working
time
on
in,
like
yeah,
it.
his
Yeah,
service, stuff like that.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah, man. Yeah, so you have a little team going on and everything. That's dope. That's dope. So I know I've asked this probably in the past. So do you? I know you're independent right now, but like, do you plan on having like a studio or like a actual company to overhead what you're trying to do, or like what are you thinking? If you
Yeah,
want to
I
tell
really
me.
do. So I'm actually trying to get all the paperwork done so I can file for an LLC back home, and
Okay.
then I plan on actually having my dad run it, like the physical like brick and mortar for it while I'm here in Okinawa till I get back. And the second I get back, I can fully take it over and run it
Okay.
how it needs to be ran. But my dad, I trust through and through, and I know he can handle it for one, and he'll support me 100%. But uh,
Nice. Okay.
the the building itself and having the company is not gonna happen until the game take off and I start getting a regular flow of income to be able to support it.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know
Yeah.
things are expensive. Things are
Oh yeah,
expensive.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Um. Okay, dope. So it says you have a plan. Yeah, just make sure you have a plan, man. And like, yeah, believe in yourself. No matter my advice to you, bro. No matter what anybody says, you know what your vision is. You know what you want to do, and you're a good person. And like, don't let anybody clog what you know is the right thing and what you know what you want to become. I
Yeah.
probably butchered that last 30 seconds, but you got the point. Because
And I
people,
definitely.
because like, yeah, people were telling me like even I'm back home now and like I was talking to some people and they were like, no, you should do your company like this, like this. I'm like, have you ever built a business? Have you ever done this? Like I understand your input, but like you're talking as if you've done it before and you haven't. So, but no man, that's good. That's great. That is amazing. And Team Reinvented Gaming and Ramos Eventa are have some surprises in the future. But
Definitely.
that's legit. That's legit. Sheesh, you went through all these questions really quickly. We still got like 15 more minutes, Corbin.
That's fine.
So you're doing a Kickstarter for your thing right now,
Yes.
and I'm definitely gonna put that in the description and on the screen, probably right down there. Um, so you obviously hit more than your goal, right?
Yeah.
So
So
how was that? How was that process and stuff like that?
the goal was initially when I first created it was 10,000 because I did the math. I was like ultimately 10,000 is not even half of what I actually need if I were to get the artwork per what most of the artists are charging, which is roughly around 150 per art piece.
You need
So
200 art pieces.
yeah, pretty much is where it was at.
Sheesh.
So I was like, okay, I was like, with that in mind, I was like, the cost of getting all the artwork done, it was like 10,000 really was like basically like halfway mark. I was like, I can chip in the other half. Like I have no problem with that because it is my game. I feel like I have to financially support
Oh
it.
well, you have to. It's gonna die if you don't. It's gonna die if
My
you don't.
baby.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah.
So the first time I hit 2,600 on donations, but the time ran out, so I didn't get it. So I was like, let me drop it at significantly lower and just put it at 1,300. My close friend Raydong, was his gamer tag, and he was like, "I support this 100%. I'm going to donate 1,000 for you." I'm like, "Oh, beautiful, thank you." And then Coons, uh, later on, like about a week ago, was like, "You know what? I want a character." I was like, I finally thought of a character because that's what one of the rewards was. You donate 1,000, you got a character to actually
Mhm.
put into the game.
Mhm.
He's like, I really want a character. I just thought of. I think it would be great. And he's like, I'll donate 1,000 just for it. I was like, you really don't have to. You're part of the creation team. Like, just add another card. It would be fine. He's like, no. I'm donating 1,000. I was like, all right, sure,
That's funny.
fine.
That's
So,
just wow, man. Oh wow, you got some good. You got some funding. Got some good people. That's nice. That's legit. That's nice. So when I dabble in Kickstarters and Indiegogo and crowdfunding campaigns. When I did mine, I went through a crowdfund manager and tried to use their expertise. It was a bad idea. He kind of just pretty much took money from me and didn't help me at all. And my Kickstarter ended up, just not going well. Really, I had people donate money. I had some good people donate money towards us, but nowhere to the success that you are having. So like, did you just come? Did you do that yourself? Did you reach out to anybody or like? Because I've been on the Kickstarter and it's better than I could do. Like seriously, it's really good, man. It really is. It really is.
I honestly so I sat there and the first time I did it, it didn't come out good. I kept on looking. I was like, something's missing. I was like, you know what? I'm not a wordy person to begin with. I was like, I have one person on my team that just helps me through and through, especially with coming up with ideas. I'm like, Coons, I need help. Help me fucking buffer this Kickstarter, make it a little bit more wordy so people can actually understand it a little bit better instead of just my plain point cut through all the cheese and straight to the point type mindset. He's like, oh yeah, I got this. I told him what I wanted. He's like, okay, I'm gonna add this sentence in here and put these little extra tidbits in. He's like, and so it just got bigger and it made a little bit more sense. It was more wordy, so people could actually had a little bit more attachment to the project itself.
Yeah.
Then whenever I get like artwork and all that, I put it on there. Now, as of like growing it, what I did was I would just like every week I'll just go put it on my Facebook and I would tell everyone this is what I'm doing. If you can't donate, by far, I understand 100%. I'm not demanding or expecting you all to, but can y'all at least share it so your friends can see it and they can share it too. So just so the word gets out. So with that, I got like 3 other more pledgers into the campaign because of it.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. You're definitely moving in the right direction, and I'm excited because you got this much traction so far that when things are actually happening, it's gonna be crazy. I can't even put in the words. I don't even know what to say, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a good thing, and we're gonna have conversations. Me and you're gonna talk behind the scenes a lot about things, about ideas, about strategies and stuff like that. But that's legit. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. So it's gonna be on Steam, right? It's gonna be available on Steam for free.
Yes, for free. So the way we decided to go about getting like funds to continue the game is just what most games do nowadays. Is just cosmetics, skins, and all that.
Okay.
Because honestly, like me being me, I will play a free to game all day. If I actually love it and enjoy it, I think the creators are doing great. I'll start buying skins just to support them to continue making more. But the moment I have to purchase and constantly feed in money, like for subscriptions or anything, I start to lose my desire.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So we already thought of a couple of things. So if you played Hearthstone, at the beginning it flips a coin to see who goes first. We actually decided to do the same thing, but one of the cosmetics is changing the skin of the coin to different coins of the world, so different kingdoms coins. So
that's cool. Yeah, that detail.
Yeah, the mark to the sigil of whatever kingdom. It's really what we thought. We actually went from like, oh, you got a triangle coin, you got a circular coin, you got a rectangular coin, just different things to throw in a little bit more wonder to it.
Yeah, the attention to detail you have is phenomenal. With that, the little things really do matter. The little things matter.
Like when me, Coons, and Pope are talking, I say that all the time. It's like it's the small things that matter. It's
it
all
does.
the small things, and it's my argument with the not trying to hate on the Marine Corps, but it's the small restrictions that make people.
Oh God! Here we go.
People want to leave. It's because of those small details. It's always the small details that amount to everything.
Yes, it's like whether it's game development, whether it's building a company. They matter. And I'm a big proponent of that. Like the way, like you always hear me say, the employees are. My number one building a business or being a CEO is treat your employees correct, do the right thing amongst your employees, and little things like that really do go a long way. Like my team is phenomenal. I love those guys, those men and women. So yeah, you got the right idea. You're definitely on the right track, and. The way these games are nowadays, man, I don't think a lot of these big $1 billion companies are caring about the little things. And I never built a game. I don't own a billion-dollar company, so I can't speak for what goes on behind the scenes. Maybe they're trying the hardest, and it's harder than what most people think. But
Oh,
I don't know.
which I understand.
Yeah.
But that's always been my complaint, especially like newer games. Like the story just seems lacking lately. Like case in point, World of Warcraft. I grew up on it. I loved it for its story, but this last expansion just killed it all over again for me. I had just gotten back into it for the second to last one that came out. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, this is great. And then this new one that came out, I was like, and I'm done again. It's like it's
Yeah.
ultimately the story that keeps me driving for a lot of games, especially ones that keep on like making new like continue
Mm-hmm.
on with its story, like continue expanding on it. I was like, I want a good story that actually makes sense in my eyes. If you just throw something out there because you're just spitballing, because you're just trying to grab for it, like it seems like you're just grabbing for money, it quickly loses me. I'm like, okay, I'm out.
Okay. So,
So,
I didn't
uh,
mean control. So what?
no,
So is it?
what is it?
Would there would there ever be a like a cutoff? Like, how long can somebody? I would say how somebody be. I guess how long can somebody be creative? You know, like is there a time where you got to be like, okay, the story's this is the end of the story, and then they have
See,
that.
I thought that, and then I literally hit myself with the we're anytime someone tells a fantasy story, it is stuck in medieval era, the like BC age, like
Yeah.
very no technology, rudimentary. Like we are just grasping the straws of like mankind, basically.
Okay.
It's like why can't I, as the game develops and people fall in love with it, I then like jump jump ahead in time and turn it into like, hey, we are now in the revolutionary age. We are now in modern age. We are now in space exploration age, and like you see the
Oh.
progression of each
Oh
race
shit.
and like how their mentalities change because ultimately
Yeah, it's like building a
every
civilization. It's like
yeah
literally like
exactly
a
what
lifetime of generations.
yeah that's exactly what I want to do. Like people's mentality changes, races mentalities change. I was like I actually want to show that and actually progress that, and because I also don't like stereotypes, so I also wanted to show like, hey, this orc, they're always portrayed as evil. This guy's actually really good. He's here to help you, so on and so
Mm-hmm.
forth. Like same with an elf. Like, oh, they're typically like they're good people. They're always caring for nature. No, this guy's over set fire to the forest just because he can. Like, I wanted to show different uh, aspects of each race. Like, everything's not as cookie cutter as you're like thought to believe. There's diversity no matter what.
Yeah. No, yeah, I never. That's crazy. I never fucking even thought about that shit before. That's wow. Yeah, wow. Yeah, you definitely put a lot of thought into this. This is gonna be the fucking best game ever. It's gonna win a fucking E3 award, and there's nothing I can do about it. Oh, it's a good thing I own at work, but who cares? But no, man. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, yeah. This needs to happen, and I'm gonna make everybody in the org play it when this shit comes out. Be like, hey guys, new rule on your contracts. Play this game. No, but no, that's legit.
Like
Yeah. So that's interesting.
with
So
that,
you can continue.
with that, like I know like card games. It's like if you go, especially like physical card games,
Mm-hmm.
like Magic the Gathering, like it gets very unbalanced very quickly as they continue launching new cards. I was like,
Okay.
I wanted to break that. I wanted to make sure like even the oldest cards are still well balanced and with the newer
Mm-hmm.
ones. So it's just as it gets bigger, I have to make sure I have to set a whole team
No,
to make
yeah.
sure that this game's constantly balanced because I don't want cards to be one overused and then some's just completely forgotten because they don't bring any utility to the game. I want things to constantly be present and there's no I want to make it where there's technically no meta for a prolonged time. It's just constantly changing. People have to constantly adapt to
Yeah.
the fact that I'm trying to keep this game super balanced. And so you running a orc card
Mm-hmm.
based deck isn't going to get completely demolished by a dwarven card based deck or an elven one or a human one. Just something that actually everyone has a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very interested to see how you scale that business, and I'll offer my advice, but yeah, because it's gonna be very different. You're gonna be very deliberate with how you scale it, because like I said, to keep the game as balanced and to keep it as diverse as creative and as responsive as you want it to be, you're gonna need solid teams, a lot of solid teams to be working all the time. pretty
Yeah.
much, up to your standard. So it's gonna be interesting how you build that up and everything. We have about 5 minutes left, so I probably know the answer to this question, but I'm gonna hit you with one. Where can people find you if they want to learn more about you in
So
the game? Like, yeah.
for the game itself, I actually have an Instagram for it that I post every so often, like of the new like
Mm-hmm.
artwork for it. It's it's this company's name, Valuk Burger Nobellis. Uh, I'll
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
actually
yeah. I
type
put
it
it
out
down
to
there.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I put it down there. It'll all be
and
on the
then
screen.
uh, with that, like right in the bio of that is just my actual Instagram account of me as a person.
Okay. So,
But with that, like that's the only like social media I have for the game. The Kickstarter maybe being one, but this Kickstarter that's about to end in like 6 days. I had to create another one, like probably just for a prolonged time for anyone that wants to support it some more.
for sure,
But
for sure. And you have a YouTube channel, right?
actually, yeah, I actually
Yeah,
do. It's for all the music scores that are being made for it. That one's just labeled Grimoire Saventa, the game name itself.
for sure. Okay. And I hit you with our last question. Probably wouldn't know the answer to this, but how do you want to reinvent your industry?
So me personally, I want games to go back to how they were, as in they were very story oriented, because games on the 64, the first Xbox, the GameCube, the PlayStation, they focused on the story, the development of the characters themselves, and even being a little bit different, like, oh, your favorite character passed, like died in this fight, or so on and so forth. I want to break the standard of heroes always come out victorious and villains always lose. I want to show that it's not always black and gray. Like everything changes. Like
Okay.
time is the only thing that's consistent.
Nice. All right. So you heard it here, folks. But Corbin, thank you for being on the podcast. Great insight. I definitely learned a lot, and I really mean this. I really am very interested to see where your game takes, and I truly believe it's going to be very successful and everything. I wish you nothing but the best. But guys, so once again, Corbin, great guy, very smart, very creative, and with that, I will catch you in the next one. Thank you, Corbin.
Thank you, John.
Peace.